Hi everyone, it's Lisa, and this is a video for Transmission TV, something that we wanted to do for a little while, and we actually started filming part of this last week, and then my phone died and we lost all the data. But this is basically an honest, not review really, is it, but an honest vlog about electrolysis.
Stuff that people don't always talk about.
No. So, we're not talking electrolysis of the face, we're talking about electrolysis down there in what they call the surgical site. So for trans women, depending on your surgical option, depending on a few other bits and pieces, will depend on how much hair removal you need. But the chances are you will need some hair removal. And there's a lot of things people don't tell you, isn't there? So I'd heard that you can get numbing cream before you go, but nobody had really said an awful lot about it. The pain levels, some people describe it as similar to getting a tattoo or similar to a body piercing. As somebody who's had multiple body piercings and multiple tattoos, I can say that it hurt 20 times more. I screamed. So I went for my first session last week. How would you describe that from a volume perspective?
I'd say that it was quite, it was literally like somebody was actually chopping you up, or like really hurting you in a way. Like,
yeah, it hurt.
I've never heard you scream that much before. So.
A lot. It was incredibly painful. I am, so I have fibromyalgia, which is a pain thing.
That made you more sensitive, maybe?
Possibly. Some people say, some of the fibro groups online say that their pain threshold seems to have gone down. Mine seems to be through the floor. But it hurt, and it hurt a lot. And I didn't have any of that Emily stuff, did I?
But she also, let's say we went for the first consultation, you don't actually have the treatment done at that one. So basically they can find out what surgeon they're gonna be using, and how much hair removal you need done, and all of that stuff. So they do all of that on the first appointment, because I think everybody gets like a half an hour slot.
Yeah, the consultation to talk about what it is you need and where.
So then from there it was a case of, okay, what do we need to do? Is there precautions and other things that we can do to sort of make it tolerable? And she said, "No, we don't use any cream. We don't use anything." So we went in the first session you had, no cream, just some pain relief before you went, and it was awful.
Yeah, it was
really bad.
It was very painful. I mean, I have had my eyebrows tattooed, and that was nothing at all. Even at the end of like the sessions where you're going over sort of raw skin on bone, it was a lot more painful. So we're going to do some testing today. So today I am smothered in Emla cream, not Elmley as I keep saying.
What size this little bit of tube, the little tube that you get is, but it's a tiny little
5
tube,
gram,
and you use the whole thing. So because it has to be all over below. So
everywhere down there is covered in this cream stuff.
The whole cream. It's not
the whole tube.
Cream,
it's £5 a tube. It's a tiny little tube. I think you can get larger ones from your doctor, but this is all we could get from the chemist at the time. So I've got that, and then what you then do is you wrap it yourself in cling film to keep it on your skin and away from your knickers. Otherwise, it has a tendency to rub off on your underwear.
And it's kind of like.
And you're supposed to put it on a good hour and a half before you need it to work. So we've done that this morning. I've also brought with me some aloe vera after sun gel.
So it feels a little bit odd though and stuff.
Just as a cooling gel. What, the stuff on now? It's going to sound really weird. To be honest, I can't feel it. No.
Maybe you can't feel it now.
That's what I mean. Maybe it's gone numb. Maybe I can't feel anything.
Well, hopefully, like I say, it's a better experience this time than last week.
And I've got my headphones, so I'm going to
Yeah.
plug myself into some music again and try and zone. I'm a little less anxious this week. I was very
A
anxious
bit more
last
prepared
week.
this week. So
Yeah, and at least I know it's going to hurt like boogery. It's going to hurt a hell of a lot, so we shall see. So, we'll let you know how it went in a few minutes. Hi, so I've had it done.
And how was it?
It was 100 times better with the cream. Like, about halfway through, it felt like I was being flicked with an elastic band, is the only way I can describe it. But not like all the way back, just like a little ping, ping, ping,
But I
ping.
said, compared to last week you was screaming at the top of your lungs. I said,
Saying
on the
every
table,
swear word imaginable.
and like I say, it was literally unbearable. I said to the point where she did a few, and then that was it. She couldn't do anymore because it was just too painful.
It was so painful last week. Put it this way, if it wasn't for, I mean, this is a real test of sod all the psychological assessments and everything else. They should just send you here with no lidocaine cream and then just go, do you really want a vagina? Because if you do, put up with this. Last week was agony. I have not felt pain like that probably since I tore my frenum, which is a delicate part of the skin from down there. Last week was unbearable. I was in tears. I was the colour of your Costa cup. Yep. And it was I was screaming in agony. This week, so whether it's a combination of the tramadol that I took, the paracetamol, liquid paracetamol I took a good half hour before we left the house, so an hour before the treatment, or the lidocaine cream, which we put on an hour and a half before the treatment, that now, I mean, it's uncomfortable now, right now. It's a little bit sore and tender, but it just feels scraped. Last week, it felt like I had been butchered. And as it was happening, it was just horrendous.
I could only probably think it was like having lightning bolts hit bit.
No, do you know what it felt like? You know, in Game of Thrones, you know, we've been watching some of the old season. You know when Ramsay's like peeling back people's flesh, and they're like, and it's like because he had the flayed man thing, Ramsay Bolton. It's like that. That's what it felt like last week. Whereas this week, it was uncomfortable but manageable, which is amazing. So yeah, so we're repeating that in 2 weeks' time. I've got my next appointment. But yeah,
they're going to try and do it once a week, but there wasn't
where there's enough
space
spaces.
next
Yeah,
week, but yeah.
So, for anyone out there who is needing electrolysis on very delicate areas for surgery,
Use the cream.
I can heartily recommend lidocaine cream, the Emla cream, some pain relief beforehand, and yeah, I also practice mindfulness, and I plugged into my earphones, so I did a lot of that. But anyway, we will see you on another video because we've got literally 5 seconds left. So bye everyone. Thanks for watching Transmission TV. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Bye.